Davit Aghmashenebeli is one of the most important figures in Georgian history, and by many accounts should be rightfully considered to be one of the founders of modern Georgia, not only as a cultural entity, but also as a political entity. Despite having ruled almost 1,000 years ago, his legacy on Georgia can still be seen and felt today. King Georgi II, David's father, abdicated the throne in 1089, making David king at the young age of 16. At this time, only western Georgia was under David's control, with Kartli and Kakheti firmly under Seljuk command. Things began to change in 1092 when Seljuk leader Malik Shah died, leaving the Seljuks politically and militarily weakened. Only 3 years later, the First Crusades were announced. Seeing as that the Seljuks were both weakened internally and occupied externally, David began to piece the Georgian fiefdoms together, notably by deporting the Duke of Goldikari in 1097. Additionally, David made the army subordinate to the crown rather than to local feudal lords. This was an important step in unifying Georgia. By 1105, he managed to attack Kakheti and bring it under his control, thereby unifying most of the territory of modern-day Georgia. David did more than conquer lands for Georgian territory. He was also busy building a new civil society at home. In 1104, he held a synod at Ruisi Cathedral and Urtnisi Monastery, where he eradicated corrupted feudal lords and religious figures from the church. He merged the Archbishop of Chkondidi with the chief advisor, making this position the second highest in the kingdom, only after the king himself. This meant that the crown had direct authority into church matters, while the church was given an elevated platform within the Georgian state. To further bring the church under the control of the crown, David founded Gelati Monastery just outside of the capital of Kutaisi in 1106. In doing so, he indebted the church to the crown for the construction of the monastery. Additionally, the location of the monastery and academy were chosen due to its proximity to Kutaisi, making it easy for David to visit the monastery. This was also crucial because, as the academy grew to become the largest Christian and Byzantine academy east of Constantinople, visitors, academics, philosophers, and religious figures from Byzantium would also be in close proximity to Georgia's state institutions. By 1109, David had grew Georgia's army to over 40,000 soldiers, including 5,000 cavalrymen. In an effort to finally rid the Caucasus of Seljuk rule, he made amends with the Ossetians and the Kipchuks in the North Caucasus, going so far as to divorce his wife and marry a Kipchuk noblewoman. This meant that, in 1121, at the Battle of Didgori, David's army was accompanied by around 16,000 Kipchak troops. Despite the Georgians being vastly outnumbered by the Seljuks, they were victorious, resulting in the final expulsion of the Seljuks from Georgia. The following year, Tbilisi was brought firmly under David's control, and, in an effort to further centralize his kingdom, he moved the capital from Kutaisi to Tbilisi. In an effort to show goodwill, the slaughter of pigs was banned in Tbilisi, and Muslims were given favorable tax rates. In 1123, David had given the province of Shirvan, now in modern-day Azerbaijan, to his daughter, Tamar, to rule. The ramifications of this were perhaps the most profound of all of the changes made to Georgia under Davit Aghmashenebeli's reign. Up to this point in Georgia's history, the country's culture revolved around religious matters. Byzantine and European literature alike were yet to undergo the humanist renaissance, whereas Islamic literature, and most notably Persian literature, was renowned for being philosophical, mystic, and creative. Thanks to the acquisition of Shirvan, Georgian authors were exposed to Persian writing styles, techniques, and themes. This would give way to Georgia's greatest author, Shota Rustaveli, whose work was centuries ahead of Europe. Additionally, the Georgian language underwent a fundamental shift. Many of the language's arcane tenses and suffixes were lost, giving way to today's modern grammar. Persian loanwords quickly replaced Arabic and Turkic ones. As such, Old Georgian died. What's more, with the spread of non-religious literatures came the need for a writing system that was more adept for the pen. From this need, Georgian got the Mechedruli alphabet, which is the alphabet that Georgian currently uses. Davit Aghmashenebeli was the first king to unite the Abkhaz, Ossetians, Georgians, Azeris, and Armenians under one flag. In doing so, he created a cosmopolitan, multi-ethnic, and multi-confessional state. Its capital, Tbilisi, was home to Muslims, Jews, and various denominations of Christian Orthodox believers. Davit laid the groundwork for Georgia to be a place where the Georgian Orthodox Church could be a major cultural and political force, yet the country still remained open enough for all other faiths to be welcome and practiced freely and without persecution. It is safe to say that Davit Aghmashenebeli not only built great structures and a great kingdom, but also built the foundations for the Georgia we see today. For more information about Georgia, its history, and its regions, visit our website www.visiting-georgia.com. Thanks for watching.